This is Calvin with As It Is podcast number 19. Uh, we talking about weeds. And the first thing I want to do is thank Nicole's cousin Kristen for telling me about how what do they call it? Not compost, but mulch helps to prevent weeds. And so, as you can see over there, I put down some mulch. That's just some dead grass that I cut. And I'm gonna cover this whole area with it, this whole greenhouse with it. And as you can see, watermelon is doing really well. It's more flowers over there, which means we're gonna have some more watermelon. The black-eyed peas are doing well. Planted some lentils over there and some wheatgrass, and they're doing well. Some more black-eyed peas over here. And then this one, I just put some, what did I put in there? Sunflower seeds. That was yesterday, and it looks like they're sprouting already, as you can see. You know, if you can get a close-up of that. Yeah. And then, of course, over here we got the tomatoes. And I don't know how this happens. I don't know if that's a bird. I don't know what that is that eats them things, but we've been able to salvage a few of them. And I think it's gonna be okay. And we ate all the corn. Got one ear from each stalk, and it's 5 stalks. And but I'm hearing that you can buy seeds that produce more than one stalk, more than one ear on a stalk. So I'm gonna look into that. But the thing that I'm really focusing on is these weeds. And as you can see, I done put up all these weeds, y'all. And I think you saw them before when they was like this tall. You know what I mean? So I pulled them all up again. And this is what it looked like over here prior to putting that mulch. Putting that mulch down. So I just got to get these up. Once I get these few weeds up here, I'm gonna put the mulch down. And again, thank you, Kristen, for making that suggestion. And anybody, you got any suggestions about anything I say or comments or whatever, holler back at me, because I think communication is so key to our well-being. We gotta communicate. Anyway, getting back to my point, I don't know if I mentioned my point. Yeah, I did. Weeds. These weeds, I've discovered that, like, you look at this weed right here, like say this one for instance. And what happens is that the root of this weed will travel, and then it'll get to another spot. The root will get to another spot and produce the same kind of weed. You can see it in this, like this here. Pull this up. These roots will travel somewhere else, and another one of these will be produced. And that's what's happening all over the garden. These things are connected, y'all. They're communicating. They're talking about, let's go to this garden and see what we can accomplish in here. And they can take over. Here's a pile of them that I just got yesterday. I've done like 2 or 3 wheelbarrows full of those. And again, they're able to communicate with each other or communicate with the earth. I don't know how they do it, but it's an amazing concept. And the thing, if it's happening to weeds, then for weeds, it can happen for us if we can communicate. And the thing that we need to communicate, I think, first of all, is with ourselves. We got to go inside, talk to ourselves about the weeds that exist in our lives. And some of these weeds, examples are lack of communication, fear, low self-esteem, just all kinds of issues that we have within ourselves that a lot of times we take out on other people. So we go to other gardens, and which are other people. I'm gonna use that analogy. We go to other gardens and plant our weeds in that garden and cause havoc and mayhem and all kinds of things in the life of our fellow human beings. So what we need to do is to understand that we have an opportunity to pick these weeds, just like I did, and cover them with some mulch. And the mulch, as far as I'm concerned, is love, because this mulch, not only does it prevent weeds from coming up as readily as they do, but it also allows the moisture from the rain to stay in this garden or inside the greenhouse. You know what I mean? And then it also, as it's dying, provides nutrients for the soil. So it's a multifaceted concept that does those three things. It prevents the weeds from forming. It provides nourishment and nutrition, and it keeps the area moist. And we all know that water is very important for our well-being. And so again, in terms of the analogy, let's start picking our weeds, y'all. Let's start taking them out of our lives. The things that are causing us harm and causing harm to other people. Let's start pulling them out of our lives and replace them with the mulch, which I'm just going to condense into one word. That's love. Because I understand that there are some people that I'm not gonna readily get along with. You know what I mean? That they're gonna be saying some things that I don't like. They're gonna be doing some things that I don't like. But what I have to understand is that that's their garden. You know what I mean? That's what they do. That's who they are. Who am I to interfere with what it is that they're doing? I have to learn how to accept them for who they are and for what they do, and to understand that the place I'm at right now, they might not be in that same place. And it's like the young lady told me about, talking to her mother who was stricken with dementia, and she said as she's talking to her, she's not agreeing with her mother's not agreeing with her, they're going back and forth, and then it comes to her mind, wait a minute, dementia, that's close to dimension. So she's talking to me from another dimension, and what she's hearing from me, she considers it to be from another dimension. And so when we're talking with each other, going back and forth with each other, just stop and say to yourself, oh, he's in another dimension. She's in another dimension. I'm in another dimension. So we can stop this conversation short, and we can just love one another and accept one another for who we are. So I appreciate y'all listening, and I'm just like really excited about communicating these things with you guys, because I know that in spite of all the stuff that's going on, there's a way out of all of this, y'all, and that way is love. So as always, imparting, I holla.